Alright, happy Thursday guys. So today's home workout is a fast one. AMRAP 7, 12 dual dumbbell power cleans, followed by 40 double unders. This workout, this couplet, you're gonna go fast throughout those 7 minutes. You don't have that much time, so that means go unbroken on all your reps as best as you can there. Even if you find you're getting to that muscle fatigue zone, that's when you want to keep pushing and go as hard as you can. This 7 minutes is not meant to be going at an aerobic pace, kind of like Tuesday's workout. We want to be on the opposite end of that spectrum. We're going to go fast in this one. So 12 of those reps should be unbroken, 40 double unders, keep that rope nice and close, and go as fast as you can there. Obviously maintaining your form as best as you can. Power cleans are off the floor. So if you're not comfortable picking it off the floor, if you can't get that back nice and flat and really use your legs to drive that dumbbell up into your front rack, go from the hang position today. Or also go lighter, another option to play around with. As long as you're being consistent with your form, then you can make sure you're going at that fast intensity. But again, make sure you have that right progression there. Double unders, if you don't have them, that's all right. Go 40 single skips as well as another option, or if you don't have a rope, go 40 jumping jacks, okay? So this couplet, again, meant to be nice and fast. You only have 7 minutes, so you're trying to get as many rounds as you can in there. I'm estimating you try to push yourself to get at least 4 or 5 rounds in. If you can, keep going on. If you get to that 6th, that 7th round, that's perfect. Then you're going almost a minute per round there, which is amazing. So great workout for today, guys. Nice and short, but high intensity. After you finish that workout, we have an Afro Burner. That Afro Burner, guys, meant to strengthen your shoulders, your scaps. After doing all those power cleans, especially, you might be a little bit hunched over after letting them pull you down. So we're gonna try to open up the scaps, open up that thoracic spine a little bit. So we're gonna do some Scap Rotators, 10 and 10 per side. Then we're gonna go into an overhead squat hold. Again, revisit that movement pattern, get strong in that bottom position, get comfortable with locking out, whether it be a PVC, broomstick, or even just getting your hands overhead and trying to just feel it out as if you had that barbell in your hands. 3 rounds of that, guys. Use it as a strengthening piece and also a little bit of a cool down after that intense workout. Hope you guys enjoyed today's WOD and Afterburner. We'll see you guys next for the warm-up. All right, guys, we're here for the warm-up. We're gonna start off with 60 body weight Russian twists. So you don't have to do them all unbroken. Break it up, sets of 20, sets of 30. You don't need to use any weight for this. Try and focus on really on that rotation when you're going to one side. So don't just try to reach with your arms or your hands. I mean, try to reach with that upper body towards the direction that you're going. So you can challenge yourself by going legs straight here, or if you're new to it, keep your knees bent. But again, we're gonna try and reach as much as we can to that one side, going for 60 reps. Every time you touch that side, that's gonna count as 1 rep. So break it up if you need to, 60 reps to start off with. Then we're gonna go into some single-legged deadlifts. You're gonna go 15 reps per side. Use a weight here, unless you're still trying to work on that balance with that single leg. You're gonna grab that weight, the leg that's balancing on the floor, that's not gonna be using the weight. So my right side is gonna hold on to the weight, my left side is gonna be doing the balancing. I'm gonna hinge at the hips, send that leg straight back, and I'm gonna come down as low as I can, as long as I'm keeping that back nice and flat. And I'm gonna drive through that front leg to stand up. And as I'm doing that, I'm pushing my heel, pushing my full foot into the ground to really use my hamstring as I stand it up. So what it looks like again from the side, down, come up, drive hard through that leg to activate that hamstring. Once you're done that, guys, we're gonna go into some static lunges, but from a narrow stance. So I like to do these to kind of get the quads and the adductors activated. So pick a line on the floor. If you don't have a line, that's okay. See if you can keep your toes or your heels all in one straight line. You're gonna drop that knee down so that it's about a fist away from that heel, so there's some gap in between. It's gonna be a little bit of a balance act here. You're gonna try and drive that leg up and then back down again. We're gonna go for 15, the left leg forward, really trying to keep that balance by squeezing the inside of this leg and keeping that hip active on the back. Then we're gonna do the same thing on that opposite leg, opposite stance. idea. 15 static lunges from there. Once you're done that, you're gonna grab a weight. You're gonna go into restrict presses from an active lunge position. So we're gonna keep that knee just slightly above the ground. We're gonna take a lunge forward, get into that front rack position, 15 reps on that one side. Once you're done 15 reps, switch, and you do 15 reps on that opposite side. So this is gonna challenge that core, guys, and that balance. Also, when you're doing that press, try not to rush through them. If you need to, do them in sets of 5 so that you can still also focus on that back, getting nice activation when you're overhead each time. So just one round of that, guys. Once you're done, we'll see you guys next for the workout movements. For the dual dumbbell power cleans, guys, or object, find anything that has the same amount of weight. We're going to use 2 objects this time for that power clean. Power cleans can be done from the floor, or if you feel comfortable, you can go from that hang position as well if you're not keeping that back nice and flat at the bottom. So, for that dual dumbbell power clean, guys, you can touch both or the top ends of the bells down to the floor, or both of them if you have the mobility and flexibility for it. So I'm going to come down to the bottom position, chest nice and tall from here. I'm going to drive my hips nice and hard. Dumbbells are going to come up. I'm going to bend at the elbows, catch in that front rack position with the elbows through and the hips back. Then I'm going to stand up and finish that rep. So what that would look like, guys, coming back down, nice and fast, catch, and open up. Again, that's one option, guys. I find the best to keep your back flat. If you have the mobility for this, you can bring your feet in and bring the objects out to our side, just as long as you're keeping that back nice and flat. So again, coming down, drive hard, and bring it up. If you feel comfortable, you can do a muscle clean as well, which means you're going to catch it with your legs straight instead of bent. Those will be your dual dumbbell power cleans for today's workout. Those double unders, we have them. Let's work on those double unders today. If you're at that 30 range, for example, see if you can break them up into sets of 20. Or if you want to try it, seeing if you can do bigger sets today, this is the great day to try and start, or a great workout to start doing that. If you don't have double unders, let's go single skips, or we can go for some running skips here, guys. Also, you can use that previous option from before, which is the double tap hop. So you're gonna keep the feet together, you're gonna jump up, double tap your sides for 60 reps total. All right, guys, we're here for the Afterburner, doing 3 rounds of 10 and 10 Scap Rotators, and then we're going into a 30-second overhead squat hold. So we've done overhead squat holds before. With this one, we're gonna add a little bit more activation and emphasis on that scap and its positioning. So with those Scap Rotators, I'm gonna use a plate, but you guys can use virtually any weight that you have at home that you feel comfortable holding on to, so not too too heavy. For the Scap Rotator here, I'm going to start off by getting that inside point of my elbow tucked into my side. A good cue also would be to possibly put like a cloth or something in between, like a sponge in between there, to make sure that your elbow doesn't veer off to the side. It stays nice and close to your side there. From there, with your weight, guys, you're going to pull that, you're going to start with your weight in the middle, so about your belly button. Then I want you to rotate that weight out as much as you can, go to the side. You might feel a little bit of a stretch in the back of the shoulder there. Most of the key points here is we want to feel it on that shoulder blade. So that upper back here, not in the traps, but a little bit lower region there, and in that mid back as we're twisting that object out. Make sure when you guys do that twist, we're not letting that shoulder kind of roll forward. We want to keep that shoulder down and really isolate that scap muscle on its own when we're doing those rotations. 10 per side, guys. If you have bands, you can also do the same thing with a band. Good resistance there is another way of doing it. 10 and 10 per side. Once you're done, we're going to take that and apply it to our overhead squat. So grab PVC, grab something nice and light. Preferably you can use like a broomstick. Try and keep the object nice and straight. Once we're up here in this overhead position, so first make sure you're comfortable doing that pass through all the way through. A little bit sticky, but you can still keep those elbows locked out. From there, get that PVC or broomstick directly over top of your shoulders. So I'm in this overhead position here. I want to keep it directly over top of the shoulders, not in front, all the way back here, right in that middle portion, the base of my neck there. From there, I'm going to think about squeezing my shoulder blades together, kind of like when I was doing that rotation. So I'm going to squeeze them together, keep that tension, and then slowly overhead squat while maintaining that tension in my upper back. If you can only go to this position, stay there, hold it for 15 seconds, for 2 sets there, then come back up to another set of that 15 seconds to get 30 seconds, or you can do all 30 seconds at once. If you find that it's difficult to do that overhead squat, you can also go for that overhead lunge and just come down to the bottom of the overhead lunge and hold that position. So we're keeping the legs active still here and still keeping the overhead position active. So in case you guys can't do that squat, you can also do an overhead lunge position. Most important thing is just make sure you're really trying to squeeze those shoulder blades in towards each other at the top to keep that bar secure overhead. Hope you guys enjoy the 3 rounds there. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one.